Hey everyone, it is your girl Nicole, your favorite expat and well-being coach. So I haven't been posting in the last 2 days because I have been knee deep in shipping and packing my things. As you all know, I lived in Thailand before I moved to Hong Kong. I accepted a job um in Hong Kong when I was still in New York. So all my things are in Hong Kong, in Bangkok, excuse me, staying at a friend's house. So good to have community, may I add that? And I had to come back. I took advantage of being here for the Lunar New Year. And oh my gosh, it has been stressful. And in this video, I just wanted to talk about the part that living abroad that no one romanticizes. And just here to, I want to always keep it real with you guys. Um, because living abroad also includes bureaucracy, admin, and also exhaustion. That is part of the process. But what's really important is how do you actually navigate that? How do you, just like how do you deal with shipping stress or decision fatigue, costs, unexpected emotional weight, and like what does it actually feel like? So, I just think that stress abroad is very much amplified when you are dysregulated. If you are never like a person that can handle your emotions, if you are someone who is thinking that once you move abroad that every single process is going to be seamless, um, then I'm here to tell you that that's not always the case. Logistics are just a neutral thing. I don't think it's good or bad. It's quite neutral because it really depends on the thing that you're having to take care of, the urgency of it, the company you're using. So ultimately, you get to determine how you handle that experience. And it's so important to build yourself for capacity for these things because if you don't, you might think that you have made the wrong choice. You might feel defeated. And I'm just here to say that, like it's living abroad doesn't remove every single level of stress for you. It actually reveals your relationship to it. And having a rich life also means it also includes hard days. So making sure that you build capacity when you are inconvenienced is so important. So three things that I might actually say more. I made a list, but three things that helped me was firstly, I told my family that I was coming here to do this. In addition to telling my friends in Thailand, because I am quite social, so I didn't want people thinking I was coming to Thailand and not wanting to hang out. So I didn't want to feel that pressure of like come and hang. Um, so what helped me was just kind of being true to my tribe, my people, and telling them what I was up to. And as a result of doing that, I got a few check-ins like, how are you? How are you handling it? I'm rooting for you. Which, a little encouragement also goes a long way. One was not making decisions when I felt overwhelmed. My mom would always say to me, like as a kid growing up, she goes one thing at a time and that do well. It's a very good rule, as you can tell. She'd always just say this to me as a kid. And I must say that I adapted that mentality when I came to Thailand because one, I did not know what company I was going to use. I wanted to rather than just go into I told you guys I'm in a new reframe of just like my life and I wanted to be very intentional. I didn't want to make a rush decision just because I wanted to get it done. I wanted to find something that was economical, something that was going to be fast and efficient. So I wasn't trying to have my stuff like on a ship for like days or weeks. So I knew what the outcome that I wanted, and I gave myself space and time. I also reached out to my community. asking if they had recommendations as well. I wasn't relying on it, but I figured why not throw that out there. The only thing is that it is Lunar New Year. So many people were traveling, many people weren't around, but I still said, let me just put that out there because you just never know who in your network can help you. Um, I took pauses between admin tasks. So I made sure I went to spinning class. I needed something that was high adrenaline, something that would give me joy, something would boost up my energy because it's a lot of mental exhaustion when you're on the phone, when you're going to places, getting prices. So I needed to do something in between that was just for me. And one was spinning because I miss it so much. And then the second thing was, I think it was the third day, I decided to get a massage, which you would think I would have done that already, but I needed to feel like I had something accomplished. Also, I had to give myself constant reminders that this is temporary. So, getting myself sorted is temporary. So, when you are in the midst of something new, things are logistics, just reminding yourself that this is temporary. Say that to yourself because in the moment, it can feel like it's like permanent and like you can't focus or just everything is just horrible. So reminding myself this is temporary. And I would also say, reminding myself, I am proud of you. You'd be surprised how telling yourself that you're proud of like what you've accomplished for the day can actually do when you think about it in the grand scheme. Like, so I said that to myself. I'm proud of myself that I contacted 5 places, that I went to 5 places, that I got quotes, because that kind of reaffirms and builds up that dopamine, I'm guessing, right? Of feeling good, feeling purposeful, and feeling as though like you're not just like wasting time because sometimes you may feel that the result is that I needed to shift, but realizing that in that moment, the biggest result was getting information. Another thing I did was a lot of body check-ins. So my last video, I talked about my eyes feeling that I was getting a sty. And I do think that our body definitely responds to stress. I think that I just had like mental overload of all the things that I know that I needed to do. And I do think that was partly why that actually came to be, and maybe just lack of sleep because my brain was just thinking, it was just on. So getting the drops, deciding to go to my bed early, a world of a difference. World of difference. I even switched around some of my plans. And one day I spent a majority of the time in bed. My body was just like tired. So rather than forcing myself to walk around, I listened to my body. I was like, you know what? My body is tired and clearly I need a break. And I only handled what I could in the hotel and I literally just got rest. Now, this is so important when you're planning to give yourself time, because if I had not given myself time, I wouldn't have been able to afford the amount of rest that I was able to give myself. So, meaning if I had only said I'm going to come to Bangkok for 3 days and the pressure of getting everything done, I do think that I think I would be losing it right now. But the fact that I said that my primary purpose of coming to Bangkok was to sort out my shipping and giving myself maybe 2 days of R&R, that mean I gave myself time that if something didn't go right, that I wouldn't, as my students would say, I didn't have time to crash out. So as you are planning and you are planning your life abroad, you almost have to, it's not saying you're planning with the worst thing in mind, but you need to plan and have an extra day or two, assuming that things are not going to happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Give yourself Monday to Friday. So at least if you lose a day, you're not like turning around, going crazy, or because that just will add unmet stress or unnecessary stress. And maybe it will all actually cost you more money because now you will make decisions haphazardly. So I just want to say that, like, people don't talk about, you know, the stresses of moving, the stresses of sending things to other places. I think even when you live a very minimalist life, I want to say you still accumulate a lot of things. I lived in Thailand for 3 years. And even when I was repacking and putting things in boxes, I had so many books. I had like oracle cards. I had, if you travel, even though you may live in a warm place, if you travel, then you might have coats, you might have vests, you might have scarves. So, though I lived in Thailand where you wouldn't necessarily have a lot of clothes, um, I recognize that because I traveled to like Japan when it was cooler, and Korea when it was cooler. I also have some warm weather clothes. Another thing to keep in mind, if you are watching this and you are moving to another country and you live there, excuse me, you work there, you're going to have work clothes, right? You're not going to only have things as for the weekend. So I'm talking to you as someone who's moved to Asia with a job. I am not a nomad. I am not hanging out in coffee shops from Monday to Friday. So that is when I'm talking about my perspective, I just want you to keep that in mind. So some of the challenges or the preparation will look different than if you are, let's say, moving as a retiree or moving as a nomad and you're just there for 90 days. So that's so important that even as you watch other people or as you watch me, know the perspective that I'm bringing also based on the life that I'm living, because that will determine what will be most important to you. So I cannot just like emphasize that you get to create your rich life in Asia. You get to learn how to regulate yourself when things become stressful, have routines, nourish your body, listen to your body, and just take it easy because every part is not always going to be easy, but every part is very much possible. If you love the tips and information I'm giving here, please give me a follow. Please leave a comment. Tell me how you are celebrating your Lunar New Year. And yeah, any way that I can support you as you design your rich life in Asia. It's your girl, Nicole, your favorite expat and well-being coach. Peace out.